I'm here at Astral Connections with Ray Helm. Ray Helm, I understand, has more than one entity or identity.
Yes.
Dr. Love.
Yes.
Private investigator.
Yeah. Certified speaking coach.
Certified speaking coach.
Yes.
So tell me about all those identities of yours.
Well, I started off being a private investigator the last 24 years of my life, and it's been very exciting. It was like my ego purpose to help people with problems coming into the solutions, and we were able to win the Consumer Choice Awards the last 5 years as the most popular firm voted for in Vancouver.
Wow, what's the criteria for something like that?
A lot of guts and a fast car, it used to be. Now it's a little bit more fine-tuning to that. My specialty is matrimonial investigations, having done over 4,000 of those over the last 24 years. And then that's where the Dr. Love emerged. The Dr. Love emerged in helping, coaching people to stay in love and stay in marriage rather than separating. So they call me the matrimonial king of Vancouver. And I serve the domestic, corporate, and business world. Okay. And then have become a certified speaking coach in relational presence, teaching people how to extemporaneously speak, stand up in front of stage without pre-thinking of what they're going to say, and feel, think, and speak through the heart mind. Let spirit be at the helm of their human, as we just went through for about 3 hours.
We just did that.
Yeah.
In our workshop, it was great, actually.
Yeah.
It was cozy, but it was great.
It was wonderful.
It was.
Yeah, it was like the spirit to spirit, heart to heart, the soul to soul communication. I loved it very much with the people that were here.
Tell me about that a little bit. Tell me about that spirit to spirit, soul to soul. You recognize it.
Yes.
Those who are here maybe didn't recognize it,
yes,
and were either in their heart space, their mind space, wondering what exactly is this connection that he's talking about. Although, I know what it is to love somebody.
Yes.
But being in that love space,
yes,
what's that differentiation?
Well, that's what we are. We are the spirit of love, right? And sometimes we have troubles communicating it or expressing it to one another because we're more in our head mind all the time. We're thinking rather than loving. And so what I teach people is to stop thinking, start observing, seeing yourself as this conscious love creator, and be in heart to heart with whoever you're with, including your own, loving yourself. Then from that place of love, then it's feeling safe to think, and then out of the abundance of the heart speak in the language of love. So feel, think, and speak in love is really important. So then what characteristics would a person have to have in order to be in heart mind all the time? Well, 80% of us is already in heart mind. So it's our subconscious. So we have nothing to do. No, it's like it's doing it all the time. Okay. It's your spirit working and loving you regardless of what you're thinking to yourself. So sometimes we draw our focus to our thought patterns, which sometimes if you're thinking, you're not loving. Right. And if you're loving, you don't really have to think. So as I put it, if you're in love, you have no problems. And if you're in problems, it's because you're not in love. You're too much in thought and in analyzation rather than the radiation of love. Fair enough. Yes. So then, while you were a private investigator... Yes, while I still am. While you still are a private investigator. Yes. There's a point where you created Dr. Love. Yes. And was it through seeing relationships falling apart that you decided to do that? Yes. My personal filters are of love and harmony. So I've always seen things in love and harmony. I've been married for 35 years. Right. It's something that I wish for everybody. So you were married for 10 years before you became even a private investigator? No, I've been a private investigator. I've been married for 35 years, so that means I have been a private investigator for 24 years, so I was 11 years married before starting the private investigation. And my wife is a private investigator as well. So are my children, which are 33 and 32. And they have been doing it since 16. Wow. So a long time. It's big. It's the next generation of shadow investigators coming out into the field. And the whole thing with shadow investigations, as you see on our cards, is to bring kind of like the light into the darkness. So that's why the blackness of the card, and that's why the light is going through. Right. You could say problems relate to the darkness,
right,
and light relates to the solution. So I'm always able to give the solution to human problems from a spirit perspective and help that person, especially in relational matrimonial investigations, love themselves and love their other, even though they're having mental challenges and human problems and possibly straying away from their ethical relationship. And so what we do is prove whether a person is ethical or unethical. Okay? But while I'm doing the investigation, I'm also coaching them to become their own Dr. Love, so that they know how to generate their own Dr. Love even in the midst of problem, so that they can be the solution to their marriage. And I coach them separately without the other half knowing it.
So what percentage would you say have come together again?
Well,
out of curiosity.
Sometimes people choose not to be, and sometimes people can't forgive one another for whatever is happening.
Right.
But if love, when we start our relationships, in any love relationships or soul relationships, it's heart to heart. And love actually controls the feelings, thoughts, and words. So even if you're saying things or thinking things that isn't, you forgive them with love, because the love over. But somewhere along the line, somebody changes their heart identity to their head identity and says to the other one, I wish you would do this for me. And the other one says, oh, screw off. And then we got the big fight, head to head. And now their identity is lifted from their heart mind, which was their soul, which was their spirit of love, to analyzation, judgment, condemnation, and sometimes crucifixion. So to get them out of their head mind back into their heart mind and assist people to love again instead of judge is my specialty.
Okay, I understand how you made the statement that you were always in your love mind. We're all always in our love mind.
Yes, everybody
right?
is. Yes.
But there must have been a point where you came to that realization. Tell me about that. Was it pre-marriage? Was it during marriage?
It's been all of my life. Like, all of our lives, we're in love. That's what we are. We are the essence and the spirit of love. Then we have these little human dramas that happen to us. Challenges, deaths, everything else that stir us up mentally, so that we have to learn how to accept this, because that's what happened. And so sometimes thinking about it takes us out of feeling it.
Right.
So
you've been in your feeling space from childhood.
No, I've been in my head a lot too, but I'll tell you, the heaven is in the heart.
Of course, I know.
And the hell can be in the head. Right. When you're judging or analyzing or complaining, then you know you're really in thought, in duality world, rather good or bad, rather than loving the good, loving the bad,
so
and loving the ugly.
Maybe what I'm trying to ask then is, who taught Ray this?
I think Ray just evolved to this, and I think everybody is evolving from their left brain to their right brain hemisphere. So instead of thinking and analyzing all the time, now we're beginning to observe. And once we get the left brain hemisphere to observe the right brain hemisphere, we begin to think whole-mindedly. We begin to observe our creative mind, our heart mind, our subconscious. The conscious listens to the subconscious. The subconscious now can be at the helm. And the conscious mind can serve it as a servant rather than a controller. So that's where we're going. The metamorphosis is happening inside of us. It's also stimulating our economy for it to change too. So what used to work in the past, because we used to be all in our head mind, is now changing into all of our heart mind. As I was telling you, the love era starting in the year 2000, and we're 2011.
Right.
We're 11 years into the love era, so it's more important to be in love than it is to be in thought. And once you're in love first, and then think from that safe place of love, then it's safe to speak in the language of love, and that's how we'll bring balance back to our own being and our communications with one another, which I teach people relational presence.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about the workshop then.
Yeah.
And tell the audience about what they can expect in a workshop when they come.
In our workshop, it's a 6-week workshop. It starts at September 11th and it goes to September 6th on Tuesdays to October 11th, and then another course from the 1st of November to December the 6th, 2-hour courses. We teach people how to listen, receive, and be available, their head mind to their heart mind, and feel, think, and speak out of your heart mind, and be in relational presence. Be connected with people, with your audience, before ever delivering your content. So there's many ways of us doing this, and we put people through these processes so that it takes completely the fear out of public speaking. Even though I've been a Toastmaster for 7 years, and I have my gold designation, it still left anxiety in me. And as you can tell, because that's kind of like pre-planning your speech and what have you, and God help you if you ever forget your speech, then you think, uh-oh, and you go against yourself. In relational presence, you never pre-plan. So you articulate everything from instincts, intuitions, and hunches, which is your big mind, your genius.
So anyone who communicates to a group of people, this would be a great
Huge.
benefit.
Professionals, amateurs, people that are scared stiff of public speaking would be able to speak.
Which would be almost 90% of the population.
Well, that's right, because they say the two great fears in life is dying or public speaking, and you don't have to worry about dying because you're going to be all gone by that time, right? Your spirit will have left your body. But in between, we have so much to share with one another that before 50 years of age, and when I became consciously awakened at 17, and that's for over 4 decades now, I had a lot to say, but I could never speak until after 50, where I started to learn Toastmasters, and then being a certified speaking coach for 7 years. So I teach people how to get out of the box.
Okay, so
and to stay out of the box.
Conscious awakening at 17?
Yeah, with a thing called ontology, which was the art and science of living. And then one thing led to the other, so I was interested in all things, and then now grown out of all things, or incorporated all things to do your own thing, which is listening, receiving, and being available to Spirit, and letting Spirit speak through your human capacities, and that's what I teach in the course.
Tell me about your very first experience of Spirit communicating through you.
I think it always happens to all of us all the time. We just get this human interference.
You become conscious of it.
At 17.
At 17.
Hugely conscious. Every moment of my life I was watching the moment. I have a little poem that goes, any moment of hating, any moment of lying, any moment of resentment is a moment of dying. And the second one is any moment of loving, any moment of giving, any moment of thankfulness is a moment of living. Yes, and the last verse is all our moments add together like a digit in a sum, and the answer tells us plainly whether life or death shall come. And so when we're conscious of our attitude in each and every moment, it either gives us life or it brings us death. And either you're positive in your love expression in every moment of your life, increasing health in yourself, reversing the aging process, or you're killing yourself with the negativity, thoughts of judgment, and actually creating kind of cancer or illness in your body, which a lot of people have mental problems, which create all their illnesses. But a lover, you will never find in hurt or pain or in disease, because they constantly love and bless themselves and then love and bless each another. So there's a real magic to our attitudes in every moment. Hating, lying, resenting, and dying is a head trip, it's a judgment trip. Loving, giving, being thankful is a heart trip. So if we live in our heart mind, we get to express and live in love. If we live in our head mind, we get to analyze, judge, criticize, and sometimes condemn or crucify ourselves and other people. So it's hugely, very conscious to be aware of that. What you focus on expands. And if you're in love, more love will come. If you're in judgment, more hell will come. Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I've kind of exhausted all my questions. Is there anything you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, like what we were talking about for 3 hours today, that we are spirit, and we are not just human. A lot of us are stuck in our human, and we're letting spirit come through. But spirit needs to be at the helm. And if spirit isn't at the helm, we really don't know who we truly are. And Spirit is always trying to talk to our human. And we have to be observers rather than analyzers. Just observe the isness of being for what it is and for all of its creations. And that goes for everything in every moment. So you are constantly moving and evolving, and so is everybody. If you are the Spirit in expression through human capacities. So understand and know yourself to be Spirit rather than human. You get to live out of the genius, the heart mind, which is the portal to remembering everything in this lifetime, your subconscious. And through your head mind, which can be the portal, and your heart mind to be the portal, if you're open whole-mindedly to life itself, then the superconscious can come straight out of your subconscious and be articulated through your conscious mind. And that's what we teach in Speaking with Ease. The website is www.speakingwithease.com, and my phone number is 778-881-2347. I would love to meet your Spirit. I love being with you guys as Spirit.
Thank you. I love being with you too.
Yeah.
So if you want to experience Spirit at the Helm, come and see Ray Helm.
Yeah, wonderful.
At one of our workshops.
Yes,
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you.